feet.
Yes, shoes.
You're wearing shoes. Describe these shoes to me. What colour are they?
Brown.
They're brown. And do they have buckles or laces?
No.
No? And as you're looking down at your feet, you'll be able to see what you're standing on. Are you inside or outside?
Outside.
You're outside. And using your senses now to be able to feel the energy around you. Is it warm or cold?
Warm.
It's warm. And now I want you to connect with your body. So as you connect with your body, do you have a male or a female energy?
Male.
You're male. And knowing that you can look at yourself from any angle now, I want you to look at yourself and describe to me, what is it you're wearing?
Wearing black trousers.
Black trousers.
A brown knitted jumper.
A brown knitted jumper. Very good. And in a moment I'm going to tap you on the forehead, and when I do, you'll see some numbers come to mind, and that'll be your age. So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1. How old are you there?
27.
You're 27. And if you're 27, you'll know your name. Listen out for your name being called. What do people call you in that life?
D.
D?
Dean.
Dean. So Dean, you're outside. It's a warm day. Using your senses and looking around from left to right, if you knew, what's your landscape like there? Are you in a town, a village, by the sea? Where are you?
In town.
You're in a town. So what I want you to do is I want you to step forward, and as you step forward, each step, you're getting deeper and deeper into that story and stepping onto that land. What country is it? What country comes to mind?
UK.
You're in the UK. And I'm going to tap you on the forehead, and when I do, you'll see those numbers again, and that'll be the year that you live. So 3, 2, 1. What year is it?
72.
72. 1272. 1872. What year?
1972.
1972. So Dean, you're in this town in the UK in 1972. Are you in the north, the south, the east or the west of the country?
In the west.
You're in the west. And do you know the town that you're in?
I'd say Birmingham.
Birmingham. Very good. So Dean, thank you for coming and joining us today. Dean, I want you to connect with your senses and tell me, are you going to the town or are you coming from the town? What's your purpose of being there? Work? See yourself working then, Dean, and describe to me, what kind of work do you do?
Sell cars.
You sell cars. So tell me, Dean, you're 27 years old. Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the name of your partner there? Katrina. I want you to see Katrina in front of you now and describe her to me. Is she tall or is she short?
A little bit smaller than me.
She's shorter. Uh-huh. And is she your partner or your wife or your friend?
My wife.
She's your wife. Uh-huh. And if you look into her eyes, what colour are her eyes?
Brown.
Uh-huh. So I want you now to connect with her eyes and look deep into those eyes, because the windows of the soul are within those eyes. And you are now able to telepathically communicate with the soul of Katrina. Tell me, does she remind you of anybody today? We'll just get a flash. Yes or no?
Yes.
Who is she today?
My daughter.
Very good. So we can see the link there. And tell me, do you have any children, Dean?
2.
You have 2 children? Describe them to me.
2 boys.
How old are they?
7 and 3.
What are their names?
Jacob
Jacob,
and
Danny,
Daniel.
Daniel. So let's go to Jacob. How old is Jacob?
Jacob is 7.
Jacob's 7. I want you to do the same. I want you to look into their eyes, right deep into their soul, mind to mind, soul to soul, telecommunicate. Does Jacob remind you of anybody today?
No.
No. And what about Daniel? How old is Daniel? Is he the 3-year-old?
Yes.
As you look at Daniel now, so deep into those eyes, feel that connection. Does he remind you of anybody today?
No.
No. So you're in Birmingham selling cars. Do you work for somebody or do you do them yourself? Do you sell them yourself?
I repair them and sell them myself.
You repair and sell? Uh-huh. And I want to talk about that relationship with Katrina. As you look at Katrina, you'll just feel her energy and tell me, is it a good match?
I think so.
Yeah, very good. So now I've got that information. What I want to do is I want to close that scene so that we can move forward in that life when something different is happening, or you may choose to move to a different life. So what I want you to do now is just imagine that you can close that scene, like switching the remote control and drifting and floating forward through time and space. Feel yourself moving forward to a significant time when something is happening. 3, 2, 1. Be there now. How old are you now, Dean? Or are you Dean?
72.
You're 72. Are you still in Birmingham, Dean?
No.
No? Whereabouts are you now?
London.
You're in London? Uh-huh. And what are you doing in London? Do you live there or work there? Or visit?
Retired.
You're retired? And what about your family? Did your family follow you there?
Yes.
Yeah? Very good. So take a look around that landscape that you're in now. Are you inside or outside, Dean?
Inside.
You're inside. Are you alone or?
Yes.
You're alone? Tell me about this place that you're in. Is it an office or a building?
Home.
It's home. So as you glance around that home, you'll be able to describe to me what it looks like.
Come in the front door. And it's the living room.
Front door and the living room. And is your wife with you?
No.
So what happened to your wife?
She passed.
She passed. So tell me, Dean, what is significant about this scene of you in that home in London? How does it make you feel?
Lonely. Sad.
You feel lonely and sad? So what made you move to London then, Dean?
It was work.
It was work. So do you have any friends or family or relatives in London?
My sons.
Your sons?
I don't see them very often.
You don't see them very often? So what I want you to do now, Dean, is I want you to close that scene and I want you to move forward in that life, and I want you to move forward to the last day of your life, free from any pain, fear or emotion, knowing that you are a soul and that is just a vehicle. So when you're ready, moving forward, 3, 2, 1, be there now. How old are you now, Dean? 79. And whereabouts are you?
I'm in bed.
You're in bed. And how are you feeling? Is it old age or are you ill?
Breathing.
Breathing? Are you having difficulty with breathing?
Yes.
Tell me, at this moment in time, are you alone or are there others around you?
It's a lady.
There's a lady.
She's taking care of me.
She's taking care of you.
Yeah.
I want you to connect with that lady, see her around you, caring for you, and I want you to look into her eyes and tell me, does she remind you of anybody today?
Yes.
Who is she?
My friend.
Very good. Well, now we've come to the last day of your life. What I'm going to ask you to do is take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just step your soul out of that body now. Very good. Very good. And just lift yourself about 3 to 6 foot above the body so we can evaluate that life and you can describe to me, what was the purpose of that life? What was the contract that you had in that life?
To learn.
To learn.
To learn to love.
To learn to love. And how did you fare with that? Did you learn to love?
I did.
Yeah. Very good. And as you look around on this last day of your life, it's normal for something or someone to come and collect you to take you home. Or sometimes, if you've been here many times, you may know exactly where you go after a life. So take a look around and describe to me, is there anything that you see or sense? What happens next?
I don't. The feeling is just of joy.
The feeling is joy, yeah.
And the anticipation of
Yeah.
waiting for something.
The anticipation of going home.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And when you come to the end of a life, do you travel alone or does someone come to collect you? Look around.
Yes, there's 3 people here.
3 people.
Mm-hmm.
Describe those people to me. What do they look like?
The first one she is my wife.
Uh-huh.
She's small brown eyes.
She's your wife from that life?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what about the second one?
The second one is a tall gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Slim build.
Does he remind you of anybody? Just connect with his energy.
Yeah.
Who does he remind you of?
My father.
Father? Your father in this life?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And that last person, take a look now. Are they male or female?
Female.
Female. Mm-hmm. Connect with her. Does she remind you of anybody?
Yes.
Who is she?
She reminds me of my grandmother. My father's side.
Yeah. So now that they've come to collect you, I want you to step forward so that you can feel their energy, and I want you to step right into their energy now so you can feel all that love and joy and protection that they've brought down for you, and just feel yourself, just meld with their energy and feel that connection, and ask them what message is it that they give you now that they've come to collect you. Perhaps you don't need nothing. So what I want you to do now is I want you to feel yourself travelling with them. So feel yourself travelling with them, going higher and higher and higher, drifting and floating upwards, and invite them to take you to your soul family. So feel yourself drifting, floating up and up and up. And as you travel higher and higher, releasing all the memories from that life, you can feel your soul getting lighter and lighter until they come to a stop. And I want you to look around and describe this place where they have brought you. What do you sense? Are you inside or outside?
Outside.
You're outside. Uh-huh. So this place, what is it?
It's a field.
A field. Uh-huh. Knowing that you can telepathically communicate with them, what does this field represent for you after a life? Openness. Very good. And now I want you to connect using all your senses and tell me, do you sense that there are other souls around, or are you just with those 3?
There is others.
There are other souls. Very good. So you may not see them all, you might just sense them. So I want you just to glance your eye over them, and as you observe them, connecting with their energy, looking at each soul individually one at a time, and you glance around that soul family there will be one that you're more affiliated to than the rest. Is that male or female?
No.
Male. And as you connect with that male, does he remind you of anybody today? I want you to communicate with this male soul there, And I want you to ask him, what is the message from your soul group for today?
Just got one word.
Yeah, what's that one word?
Pride.
Pride. They have great pride in you. That's wonderful. So now that we've got that information, let's travel and connect with the inner self.